Hi everyone, David McKeever, Richard Hunley with Advance One McKeever Real Estate and another segment of the Ask the Broker Show. David, today thought we'd maybe handle some common objections that probably all of you out there have heard.
Let's do it.
And we've heard quite a bit being brokers at an office that we get to hear what the other realtors say. So let me start off with an objection and let's see if we can handle that and knock it out of the way. Mm-hmm. I want to list my house for $20,000 more than you suggested that I list it for.
That's a pretty common one.
That's a real common one. My house is worth $20,000 more than David says it is. Come on.
I mean, it depends on the market, right? Because $20,000 more in San Francisco is not that big a deal. $20,000 in Kansas City is a big deal, or Stockton can be a big deal. So I'm assuming $20,000's much more above and beyond the market, right? Right now. So, yeah, that's a pretty common objection that a seller would ask. Obviously, you want to review the data with them and review. A lot of times the data will help you in your case because you can look at the data of all the sold comps, look at the data of the pending comps, and sometimes there's these active homes that are on the market that have been on the market for a while. So you go, okay, the average square foot is 174 with these sales, but this one on the market, I had this the other day, this one home on the market, it's just sitting there. And they're asking $205 a square foot, where the solds are at $174 square foot. You know, what? And they've been on the market for 32 days. You know, why do you think that is? And I asked the seller, why do you think they're sitting on the market? And then they realize, oh, well, they're probably asking too much. You know, that's one way to handle it. Sometimes I'll use a line that's, I hate to say line, but I'll combat him and say, you know, Mr. Seller, we may be able to get 20 or 15,000 more for your house, and I'd love to be able to do that for you, but I have to sell your house not once, but to 3 different people. Mm-hmm. I have to sell it to the buyer. They have to agree upon the price. And the buyer's agent has to agree upon the price because they're not going to write up an offer that's more than what the market is giving us. And the third person that has to agree upon the price is the appraiser. So now I don't have to sell your house once. We have to sell your house to 3 different people. And
if that appraiser doesn't agree with you, boom.
Now, I'd love to help try to get you there and get you that price. But I'll just kind of forewarn you right now that we might run in, one of those 3 people might have an issue with your 20,000 over. So there's a couple different ways I handle that. Sometimes it's data driven, and other times I talk about the people involved.
Gotcha. Okay, so 2 things right there is the numbers. The numbers typically don't lie.
Yeah.
And the other one is the number of people that you have to close. And that's a good one because the appraiser is a big one. He comes in with 10,000 less on the price. That's basically it. Unless the buyer comes in with more money, which we're seeing a little bit in this market, but not that much. That's kind of the same thing I say to him, David. It's, you know, the numbers are going to tell us. I tell them, yeah, I'll list your house 20,000 more. Of course, now you go, instead of a 4-month contract, you go a 6-month contract to buy yourself more time to get them down if they have to come down in price. So this is advice for all you realtors out there trying to cover these. Time in our market right now probably will give this house more money in the very near future. Also, the fact that there aren't any houses on the market, somebody might offer this, and long as you get that third person, the appraiser, to go along with it, you might get it.
Right.
So in this market, that's a possibility of happening. But remember, in a more regular market, which we haven't seen for a little while now, that 20,000 could really be an albatross and stop you from selling that home and maybe even hurt the relationship with your client. So at least tell them the numbers up front that the numbers say it should be, and your relationship with your client might stay intact.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So that's a couple answers, a few answers on that one. How about this one? I know someone in the business, friend, family, whoever. David, where would you go with that?
That's another common one because here in Stockton, I think there's around 1,100 licensed realtors or agents. So
all have family and friends.
Everybody knows somebody, and that's an agent, right? So it can be a difficult one to overcome because they could be a close friend of the business, but they're asking for your advice for a reason. Maybe you're a longer seasoned veteran than the new niece that's an agent. One thing you just want to really bring up is the fact that, what happens if something goes wrong in the transaction? What happens if it goes sideways?
Which a lot do.
Yeah. And, how's that going to affect the relationship with the family, the friend, your close niece or whoever it is that's an agent? How's the business transaction going? Once it goes bad, it goes sour, how's that going to ultimately affect the relationship? And is that something, are you willing to have that tough conversation with your niece that we think we should fire you? Or if they don't do their job, it's a tough conversation to have with that person, and it's really awkward. So maybe there's a situation where you can co-list it with that person. Hey, let's tag team it. I'll help your niece out. She's new in the business.
Yeah.
We've been in the business 15 years. If you're looking for an expert in the business, been in it a long time, maybe we'll tag team it. How's that sound? At least you're getting some of the business.
That hits on one that happened to me one time that I said, look, and I kind of convinced them more of this, that this is the largest sale you're going to make maybe in your life.
Right.
So you're selling something for $300,000. Your niece got in the market last month. I'm a veteran, been in the market a long time, have a lot of sales. I know what I'm doing. Maybe I could pay her a referral, but you list with me, and I'd be happy to maybe help teach her a little bit more about the market.
Let her do the open house the first 2 days it comes on the market in an open house market.
So there's maybe an angle to take with that if you know that the person that they know is, say, a rookie or not as experienced as you. Use your experience, and don't you want someone with the most experience to sell the largest thing you own in your life? That how many lawsuits happen in real estate? So if you have someone that doesn't know the contract, doesn't know the disclosures, there are a lot of for sale by owners and people like that out there, and unfortunately some agents aren't using all the disclosures that they need to use.
Right.
Well, now here comes the buyer wanting to get out of this some kind of way or make some money. You didn't disclose to me about the red-legged frogs, and now I'm going to sue you. Well, they're probably going to win because you had to disclose that. That's a thing in this state. Or, even I'm being a little bit funny with that, but there are other things that could be more important. So maybe there's a couple angles to go at to get past that.
Yeah.
I've got one more objection. I want to sell as is. I don't want to do any repairs or improvements. David?
Well, if that's something I hear when, like, on the first meeting, I'd generally go in and assess the home and its condition. If it's a complete dump, fixer-upper, obviously it's been deferred maintenance for a long time. They probably don't have the funds to improve it. And maybe sometimes that's the best way to go. If it's a decent-looking house, then maybe there are a couple things you can do to improve the quality of the home, and that will improve the ultimate sale of the home, the price of the home.
Yeah.
And, if you explain that and maybe the cost of that, then perhaps they'd be willing to do some things. That's one angle. The other angle is making sure there's really no health and safety issues that would hinder it from being sold. Like if maybe the lender maybe has some broken windows, so that's going to obviously eliminate any FHA buyers right off the bat or VA buyers.
Right, the appraiser is going to call that.
Yep.
What are you going to do? Say, no, I'm not fixing it? You got to fix these windows or the buyer doesn't get their loan.
Yeah. So there's another angle to take it at. Health and safety issues need to be covered. Obviously, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors all need to be installed, but it's missing those. So
yeah.
I think it's a matter of explaining. A lot of people don't sell a home, once every 10 plus years. So
Right.
they don't know these processes. They don't know all the little fine guidelines that the loans and appraisers require. So, if you explain a couple of things to overcome potential hiccups, then they might be willing to
Yeah.
do these things. And like I said, a lot of times if it's cosmetic things like countertops and flooring, maybe some carpet, some paint, you give them, hey, I think it'll sell for this as is, but if we did this, then if we did those things, then it would sell for a lot more.
Aha, two prices. So one lower if you're selling it like this, or one up here if you're selling it fixed up and ready to go.
Right.
Which would be more appealing to them? Probably this one up here, and it'll sell faster. And you might even, if you're not willing to fix up a home, like you said, if it won't go, say, an FHA loan or won't go VA, because of that, look how many buyers you just lost.
Exactly.
So to get your home to be able to go FHA and to look pretty good is going to get you the most money. I have a saying that if you want top money, you have to have your house in top condition. And that's for any market, but this one especially. And, then you might even get more than that top, like we talked about a little while ago. You might even get that $20,000 more if it's fixed up right. So I think there's some good objection handlers for that one too.
Absolutely.
So plenty more objections. If you have any that you'd like us to answer on this show, please let us know. And we'll have those on the next one, hopefully, or have you on here with us helping with those objections. So, David, don't we have a lot of these videos on YouTube and this and that? What's our site for that? I can't remember.
Yeah, on YouTube's Vance One McKeever Real Estate.
Right on.
So they're going to come out each and every Friday. So make sure you go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You'll get notified when our next video or market update comes out. And hey, if we didn't answer this objection to your liking, how would you handle those objections? Comment below and let us know your answers. I'm always up to learn something new.
Heck yeah, definitely.
So thanks for watching. Tune in next Friday for another Ask the Broker show. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.